So a lot happening now on a busy Friday morning now, Friday the 13th. 2 articles of impeachment against the president. They passed in the committee about an hour and 45 minutes ago. We expect a full vote in the House next week someday, at some point next week. Chris Wallace, anchor of Fox News Sunday. Special day to see you in New York, amigo, and good morning to you.
Can I just quickly say that there's a fellow named Mike Irwin, who's a friend of yours from Cincinnati. He is prowling the halls, peddling stories about Bill Hemmer in high school. So let me just say, be very gentle with me because I have plenty of ammunition.
Was he speaking well of me, or was it...
you could have done a little better.
Irwin to be an Irwin.
Yes.
Nice. Very good. That's a good shot on you.
Yes, there you go.
Thank you for that. I want to talk about a big show that you have on Sunday. You know, James Comey's coming on, Adam Schiff is coming on before that.
And Pam Bondi is coming on from the White House.
As well. So, I mean, that's a big deal coming on the heels of the IG report. What do you find out from James Comey after Horowitz's report is out there, and we saw the way that Lindsey Graham ripped into this thing? What is next in that story, do you think?
Well, look, when he left office, and ever since, James Comey has basically said that the FBI did nothing wrong, that they acted the way they should have. They followed all the proper protocols. They got some endorsement from the IG report that said that it was the Trump investigation was properly opened and that there was not political bias. But there was a lot about rampant abuse, misconduct, some would say illegality, in the way they went after those FISA warrants, and that's what I want to talk about.
Do you feel as if James Comey is coming out to defend himself?
Oh, sure.
Again?
Yeah, and he's already this week taken kind of a victory lap and said this disproves all of the Trump narrative, that we spied, that we had a political animus in opening the investigation. To some degree, he's right. To some degree, he's got some explaining to do.
And you have another guest. Adam Schiff will be on Fox News Sunday as well. So let's pivot back to impeachment now. What were you doing in 1974? Or were you in 1998? Do you feel the gravity of the day holds the same?
Absolutely.
As it did then?
Yeah, well, more in 74 than in 98. And in fact, I've been thinking a little bit about this. I wasn't there for, and thank you for mentioning, I wasn't there for Andrew Johnson in 1868. But you could argue to some degree that this kind of a political divisive impeachment is more often the case than not. I mean, in 1868, Andrew Johnson was impeached because he fired his Secretary of War, and Congress had passed a totally unconstitutional Tenure of Office Act. In 1998, Bill Clinton was impeached for lying about sex. Yes, he perjured himself, but that was very controversial. The only one I think that sort of stands the test of time in terms of history is the Nixon impeachment in 1974, when there was clear illegality, clear abuse of office. But to a certain degree, the Trump impeachment fits more in with Clinton and more in with Andrew Johnson than it does with Richard Nixon.
2 times in 21 years. You wonder if the act itself is being watered down.
I think it's a very good question, and there was a very interesting chart today in terms not of actual impeachment, but just filing articles of impeachment. And I think it happened 4 times in the first 200 years of the country, and now it has happened almost with every president. Not that they've been impeached, but I know it happened with Obama. I know it happened with George W. Bush, that an article of impeachment is submitted by at least one member of Congress. Yeah, I think it has become way too regularized, way too kind of routine, and it shouldn't be.
We're going to have a big week next week together, and
you're coming to my town, right?
Looking for, maybe eventually. I'm looking forward to seeing you Fox News Sunday. And whether you like it or not, Mike Irwin says you were around with President Johnson in 1868. So take that, Mr. Sunday.
All right, now I'm going to tell the joke about what Father Coon said about you.
Easy on that. Thank you, Chris. We'll see you Sunday.
My pleasure.
All right.